ladies and gentlemen, instead of giving the verdict at the end of the video, I will just give it right here, right now. The Scramjet is an extremely fun, balanced vehicle. It is not the ultimate counter to anything, but it is an ultimate hunter, and I will explain right now. So today we are taking another closer look at the Scramjet. I've already done a preview on the vehicle in a single player environment where I went over some statistics, customization and first look handling details, and at the time I felt like the Scramjet might have been the most OP vehicle in the game. And if you want to see that video, I'll leave an end card at the end of this video. So to quickly summarize, the Scramjet is a Vigilante / Ruiner 2000 hybrid with a boost that is on steroids. So this video will cover a couple of things. Things I've missed in my initial video, some additional tips and tricks, and then we will take it up against actual players, on ground and in the air. Lastly, we will talk about if this is a good addition, especially for you who might already have a Vigilante. I also have a fair few clips of me taking down a few MKII Oppressors, so stay tuned for all that juicy stuff. So let's begin with the things I've missed in my initial video. Now, in order to customize the Scramjet, you need an MOC, so let's talk about that briefly. It's quite strange, so you need the MOC just to put on a different paint job and armor upgrades. All the weapons are standard. Now, I don't see why you need the MOC specifically for that, like Los Santos Customs would have been just fine, right? But oh well. So we have established that the boost of this thing is really powerful. The jump and boost combination is really good. So whether this thing is actually OP or not comes down to two things. One is the rocket tracking, two is the armor. So I'll do the quick standard YouTuber thing, I'll shoot it a couple of times and act like you guys can count. Now count along with me, dear viewers. Before the armor upgrade, 1. Now after the armor upgrade, still 1. God, I hate it when YouTubers do that. I'd still recommend getting all the upgrades though, just for the sheer fact that it can take more damage from you bumping and falling into things, you becoming a little bit faster of course, and of course for the handling. Now a few tips and things you should know before we start testing it in Freemode, and no, I don't feel the urge to dedicate an entire video to that, you silly GTA YouTubers. First of all, if needed, press the boost button again to stop boosting. It is really needed with this vehicle because if you don't do that, you're gonna spiral out of control a couple of times. Second up, just like the Oppressor, if you touch ground you regain boost. Also, if you touch buildings vertically you regain boost as well. So if you want, you can go all Spider-Man with this vehicle. Number 3, just like with the Ruiner 2000, you can dive bomb players by simply jumping up, tilting your vehicle downwards and shooting a rocket. It is super effective. Now, not really a tip, but something I do want to mention early in case you don't want to watch this full video till the end, but please do. If you are wondering whether to get the Scramjet or the Vigilante as a rocket vehicle, they both have pros and cons. Simply put, the Scramjet maneuvers around quicker than the Vigilante with its jump and boost capability, but the Vigilante is an absolute wrecking ball. When you boost into other cars they fly around, it's marvelous. Now lastly, the rockets are exactly the same as the MKII Oppressor ones, so they're pretty darn effective. Now let us begin the Scramjet testing. So first of all, it's not great against players on foot, especially not in auto aim. You'll get melted instantly. Sure, you can get all fancy pantsy by jumping up and shooting rockets down, and it will catch a few players off guard of course, but it's not a massively powerful vehicle, especially taking in the fact that it only takes one explosive. And speaking of fancy pantsy shots, by the way, screw jumping up and pointing down, I call this the 180 backflip swiggity swooty rocket up the booty. So long story short, it can kill people, but other vehicles and even players will probably do a better job at that. So how about actual cars? Well, it comes with quite a vicious vehicle then. The way you can jump up to the sky and dive bomb unsuspecting players is really good. And I have to say, it is also incredibly satisfying. The jump boost combination can catch any player off guard. You're so fast with it, and after a couple of times, you'll learn the reach of the boost jump and the missiles by just looking at your map. Now, is this all massively OP? Hell no. It's mainly just for fun. Sure, it can get annoying if it gets on you and you get surprised by this thing, but if you're a decent shot, a decent player, you got some explosives, you know you're gonna get that kill on him and it won't happen again. And the Scramjet pilot, or driver, I don't know, isn't gonna be right back on your ass like with a certain other vehicle. Now how about aerial vehicles? A good question. Now unfortunately every pilot seems to be terrified of the MKII Oppressors these days, and I swear to God, I think I found like 3 or 4 pilots in the 40 different lobbies I played today. And all of them flew really high up, so that's kind of the issue. You can't really get a good shot on planes anyway, and if you're flying high you're not gonna get a shot at all. Sure, if one comes straight at you, you might get a little cheeky popper on him, but besides all of that, it won't be great against planes. You're gonna be dodging these missiles pretty easily. Now, what this thing is pretty great at is killing helicopters. But that is if they don't see you coming. Else you will probably die or trade deaths. I was up against a hunter as well. Now in my defense, I think I put up a pretty damn decent fight against this fully loaded bastard. I managed to get 1 or 2 shots on him, but besides that, it was a lost cause regardless of what happened. Now I can see this thing being really effective if they don't see you coming. And you can get those scenarios and you can create those scenarios where they don't see you coming a whole lot yourself. You just have to lurk around, get that right jump angle and leap up in the sky like a marvelous gazelle. Now, of course, there's a few like newcomers in the aerial bike subclass. So how does the Scramjet do against the MKII Oppressor? Well, not bad actually. The tracking of the rockets is identical really, so it's good to know when you face one head on, you'll at least be able to trade deaths. But unfortunately, then comes the issue that you lost your vehicle and you either have to wait for your mechanic or you have to pick it up at good old Morsey. But whenever you do get a nice angle on MKII Oppressors, it is super satisfying to get that kill. Much more than with the Oppressor. The Oppressor Mark II is probably the most boring vehicle ever to get kills with. So taking out these flying shit stains with the Scramjet, oh lordy, it's good stuff. Now the only way to get that sweet victory royale on the MKII Oppressor is really to surprise them. A head-on collision will just end up with you trading deaths. Now the verdict on the Scramjet, it is simply fun. It's a fun vehicle to use, it's not OP, it's a vehicle that is both out of place and interesting at the same time. It brings this new sort of dynamic to GTA Online. It is literally the bounty hunter's best friend. While any tryhard and griefer will probably prefer the MKII Oppressor, it is the real man that will use the Scramjet. So Scramjets unite! It's not the most effective vehicle, it's not the most powerful vehicle, but to be fair, it's just an awesome and fun vehicle to use and a very effective hunter. Now ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's always a great honor and a privilege to bring these videos to you on your doorstep, on your television screen, wherever you are watching this. Okay, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Okay.